And how long have you been in this country now? Because you've played with everybody.
From not with everybody.
Well,
There's a long
almost.
list. With 18 from '93, and the last 2 years, 2009, 2010, I was in Israel. Went back. I taught at Jerusalem
Beautiful
Academy.
country.
Yeah, and I came back now.
Yeah, I
I'm
was
here
in
back New York.
Lebanon for a while
Yeah.
to visit where my parents lived and where they were born. And I was going to go to Israel. The group I was with found out that that particular day, they said, you shouldn't go in. This is like about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I
It's
felt
an
bad
ongoing-
because it's a beautiful country there. Beautiful.
We know if there's anybody here from around the Middle East, some tradition or some, yes. So you know that feeling of people that are in a political situation around is terrible. We don't really care about it, and we feel that warmth of that area, and we still have friends in those places we cannot visit. It's kind of a awkward situation.
It's a
but
shame. It's sad what's happened.
Well, it's the geography. Here we
yeah.
meet.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the thing.
Now
you
let's
know.
talk about the music there.
Yeah, please.
The jazz. It's well loved. It's well treated, and
Yeah.
you have so many excellent musicians that come out of that area.
That's true. That's true. Jazz, you know, they say it was born in America. It's American form of music.
Yes.
But it's spread out beautifully, you know, the whole world. And it's everywhere. It's in Africa, and it's, Arabic music in the fusion of jazz with, Latin music, Latin American music. So, and there's a lot of musicians, and there's a lot of places to play. Market-wise, it's not a huge percentage maybe of the market, but it's the interest is great. Schools, big bands, small ensembles, teachers, students. Yeah.
Was there
Very
anyone in
alive.
particular that you looked up to, that you idolized? Someone, a musician that. What
in
made
Israel?
You get
In Israel?
Yes. What made
Yes,
you get into the
definitely.
jazz scene? Because
I
you
just-
you mix the jazz with the Israeli music. I mean,
Yeah. It's normal to do it because
Sure.
I grew up with some music, and then I heard some music that just hit a nerve and got in the system, and then
Right.
stayed there because it has that freedom and some spontaneity.
I know,
that
it's
So
beautiful.
yeah,
Beautiful
so an
music.
improvisation.
Because I know that
also.
the rhythms that you have with the jazz is strictly Middle East. I mean, it's
it is-
beautiful,
it is,
beautiful
and
music.
yeah, and since
Makes
Latin
you-
American music is close to my heart, I feel not only because Argentinian mother, just with the years you play with people, you get exposed to music, Cuban music, it's wonderful,
Yeah.
19th century music, and then so forth.
Right.
So you start adapting and adopting styles and musics that you like, and work
Yeah,
on them and
right.
develop.
Now, you were not last year, but you were here last with, who was it?
Paquito de Rivera.
Yeah, and
I used to play with him 6 or 7 years, and he did a nice record here on this
Right.
stage
a
with Andy
Grammy winner.
Narell. Yes,
That was a Grammy
it's
winner.
nominated.
Yes.
I just know it like a few days ago.
Yeah.
Paquito is great. Took me all over the place.
Is that right?
So
he is so funny. I mean, he's an excellent musician, but he's so funny. And
you know Paquito de Rivera?
everybody knows Paquito, right?
He's a very prolific man. He's writing book now. He's writing books,
Yeah.
anecdotes from his life, and man, there's a lot of them.
Every time he sees me, he says, "You're the man with the car that talks," because he got in my car and it said something when I got in.
Said, please, no Cubans.
But that's what I'm knowing. Yeah, and he's just a beautiful person too. Did you learn from working with Paquito?
The main thing is, other than learning repertoire and visiting all over the world and getting connected with so many musicians, the one thing that Paquito has as a band leader is he never looks back. Meaning he trusts 100%. This is the one thing, if anybody's interested in playing an ensemble, if you don't trust the other people, it's not going to work. So what you learn from him is a lot of intuition on stage. And you really got to be on your toes, because something can happen. And if you're not alert, you snooze, you lose.
You lose.
So he's like that. He's very lively, very, very feisty and spontaneous, and trusting. Trust just giving you the utmost freedom. So I'm trying to do. Now I'm leading
You're
the
doing
band.
it
I'm
with
trying
your own
to
group.
do the same thing.
Yes.
With them.
Interesting
Yeah.
combination that you have. You play the piano. You do the arranging, or is it a?
Well, I do the arranging. I plan the tunes, but I got to tell you, and that's very important to say, the music is alive once they play it. Because if I played with other people, band members, they can play the same charts with the same arrangement, and it will sound totally different. In my eyes, I don't think it could sound better than these special guys.
Yeah.
Are you staying for the concert?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you'll see them. You'll understand. I mean, everybody's a character.
Yeah. Is there anyone here who was just coming in for this? Because I think we may have a seat available if you want to stay. I'm only kidding. But there's going to be everyone. There's still people out in the lobby. They'll be coming in. Yeah, okay. But it's such a pleasure to talk to you.
Same here. I haven't seen you in, I think, 10 years or something.
I know. At least
you're looking younger and younger.
Well,
what is it you're doing?
Yeah, thank you. But I appreciate that. Any questions for?
Yeah, please.
Somebody raise a hand back there. Yes.
What were some of your influences on piano?
Good question.
Yeah, and actually, you asked me before if it was somebody I idolized, and I didn't answer that. Yeah, I definitely look up to Bill Evans because of the sound. First of all, regardless of what chord he's going to play next, just the sound. Now, of course, if you take all the traditional things of Monk and Bud Powell and Chick Corea is really, I think, got more maybe sometime into my playing. It was the children's songs and things like that that really caught my ear, also from compositional point of view, because I think he's a genius composer. Now, I'm influenced by many pianists like Gilson Peranzetta. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he's a Brazilian pianist. Now, when you say jazz, it's such a wide space of music, But if you talk about traditional jazz, definitely you could put Oscar Peterson in there. When I was 16, I heard him play, and that was it, pretty much. Him and Keith Jarrett. Because there was a solo that I tried to transcribe for half a year when I was 16 or 17. 2 bars are still missing, but I thought it was something else. I couldn't, First of all, he's got the... He makes all kind of sounds like this. But other than that, the playing and the intensity and the way he concentrates, if you look at the video, it was really striking. So these started the influence, and then I went back to check other pianists also. Hermeto Pascoal, if you know, Brazilian. Anybody know Hermeto Pascoal? It's Brazilian composer, and he composes a song a day. Every day he composes a song. He's kind of cuckoo. He is. He takes live animal and he would put it under. He took I think it was either a pig or a rooster in a concert, and he played with it. He's out. It's out. He did some really.
Have you
things.
Composed music?
If I
have you composed
yes,
any?
things are here.
And you perform them
composition. Here? Yes. These will be mainly traditional, like compositions of mine, and some Bulgarian songs that will play some odd meters in our own arrangement, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Someone would like to ask a question? How about the students?
No questions.
Yeah. Oh, over here. Sorry.
Is jazz well supported in Israel?
It's supported by the community of jazz. It's supported by whoever plays it. It is supported by the institutions as much as they can. In the Middle East, I'm sorry to say, we're busy with wars a lot. So music, we try to give more, priorities to music. But nevertheless, the teachers and educators and students and the players are very dedicated, and these are the people that bring it out. This is grassroots music. It didn't start in the academy. So if jazz is alive, it's because the people that do it just keep doing it and get it to you, like today. So either if you're sitting in a club or sitting here, regardless, you get that music, and then you say, wow, I heard this song, it's really nice, and somebody else will come to see the show. So that is happening there, on a smaller scale, of course. It's a smaller country and less places to play. But we improvise a lot. That's in Israel, in the Middle East, you have to improvise, because you never know what's going to happen next, as you know. Yeah? No. So these jazz players do get, from that area of the world, do get something else intuitive to their playing. Doesn't mean that people here don't get it, but there we definitely have it in the system, because you have, and in jazz, if you don't have that, you're dead on stage. You just.
But they always know it's America's classical music.
Of course, when people check out the classics, there's no one kid 14 years old that doesn't know about Coltrane, Charlie Parker. We know it comes from, and the roots, the blues, and working songs, and Louisiana, New Orleans. Everybody's aware of that. It's really, really. When I was a kid, I grew up with Michael Jackson. See, and that was
Long time ago. Huh?
41. So that was yeah.
Anyone else back here? Yes.
I'm not sure that I understand the term Israeli jazz, to be honest with you, really. It's, because we have to label things in the name to be able to have a conversation. But I'm not sure what it means. I mean, you know what? Actually, when you hear that, you can come later and tell me, yeah, now I know if I don't think there's a difference because we can play a New Orleans song like a second line, and you can say, well, there's a little accent to it, which is okay. With it from there.
Right.
But
There
that's
is
for
an
me, that
accent
would be
to
the
it,
difference. Once we are all from Israel. I'll answer it in different ways. It will be easier for you to understand. We're all from Israel. We speak Hebrew, all of us. But if you go a generation and a half or 2 generations back, we got his grandmother from Egypt. Amir, his father is Brazilian. He grew up in Venezuela. He speaks Russian. That's the flute player. Don't look him in the eyes. He doesn't like that. No, just kidding. Just kidding. The bass player is, I don't remember. I mean, Poland, Bulgaria, Egypt. So, it's also a mix of cultures. And American jazz could say in the 40s it could be more homogeneous. You have the bebop, you have those eras. Now there's more of trying to join things together, and everybody's really, hopefully, trying to do it with at most good taste and.
And now there are American musicians who pick up things that you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
That's unique.
Yeah.
Some of the things they're hearing they never heard before.
Yeah, Kenny Garrett, the saxophone player, he went, I think, to China or to Korea. He went for a while, just for 2-3 weeks, just to get some different sound. But this is not new. We're not doing anything new. Brahms was hanging out with gypsies. If you read about Brahms a little bit, he got some of his rhythms and things that Stravinsky and Bartok, they had folk and ethnic music in their music. That's what makes it so I don't know, it has, I don't know what the word, beautiful, but it's also unique. It's a unique combination of the academic and the intellectual and the compositional with the street, with the people that get up and they don't even know how to explain to you how they play the violin. They just do it. But they're the only one who can play it like that.
Yeah.
So, it's a
Alon,
combination.
Yavnai, ladies and gentlemen. How about a nice hand for him? Thank you.
Thank you.